In this segment of the e-learning tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate how you create a quiz. To create a quiz, we first go into edit mode in the course by toggling edit mode on the top right, and then we scroll down to the unit or the area where we want to insert a quiz. We click on add an activity or a resource and then select the quiz option. Here we give it a name. You can provide a description for the quiz, like what it covers, the readings that it covers, whether it's an open book or closed book. Under timing, this is where you can specify whether you want to close the quiz at a specific time, when you want to make the quiz available, and how much time you want to allow the students to take the quiz. So in this case, we're going to allow them only 30 minutes. Under the grade area, this is where we designate under which category this falls. So this will be, let's say, under quizzes, and then how many attempts the students will be allowed. So let's say 2 attempts. And then as far as the grading method, in most cases, the faculty selects highest grade. Under the question behavior, you may want to hide some of those items here. For example, while the quiz is open, do you want to show them the correct answer, or whether it was correct or not, and whether to show them the right answer or not? And then after the quiz is closed, provided you set a deadline for the closing, you can hide certain areas of the quiz. Leave everything else alone and then press save and display. At this point, you're ready to add the questions to the quiz, because so far we just simply designated an item, a quiz item on the course page, but we have not added the questions. Now the questions, you could add them manually, or you could use a question bank, and you can import question banks also from textbooks. But for now, we're going to learn how to add the questions manually. Now to add the question, if for some reason you lost track where we are here in the course page. We created a quiz activity and we don't have any questions yet. So we click on add question here, or we go under questions on the top. So we click on add question, and then we have the option here to add. Again, you can add new questions manually or from a question bank. So we add the questions manually. There are multiple options here that you can select. The most common ones are the multiple choice, true and false, and essay questions. So we select here multiple choice, then we click on add. Under the question name, type your question in there, and then the question text, this is what the student will see. Then we have the options for this particular question. So like, how many points should this question be? Let's say 10 points. And how many answers? Only one correct answer. Shuffle the choices, yes. Then we have the different choices. So to tell the system that this is the correct answer, for option 1 or choice 1, we specify here this is 100%. You can also provide feedback. So when the student selects this option, the system will provide automated feedback, and this is highly recommended. Then we specify option 2, and this is a detractor, so we leave it at none. Then option 3, and then choice 4. And remember to insert feedback for each one of the options. You can also specify general feedback. If they selected correctly or incorrectly, they'll get the same common feedback. But the more effective one is depending on the option that they selected. And then we press Save Changes. So we have one question already. Now we add another question, and another common type is true and false question. We click on Add. You could name this question 2. It's also best when you name these to probably have the name of the exam. So this would be, for example, quiz 1, question 2. And then you specify the actual question as part of the text. Again, you have general feedback. The correct answer in this case, it's false. And you could provide specific feedback if it's true, or specific feedback if it's false, and then press Save Changes. The third type of question that we'll design for this part of the quiz is an essay question. So we click here on Add, New Question, select Essay, click on Add, post the question text for the student, and then leave the rest of the options as they are. It's basically going to allow the students to type in an HTML editor up to 10 lines. You could limit the number of words and allow them to upload attachments as part of the essay question. If you have a TA grading your assignments, you could put in here notes for the grader so that when they go to grade it, they can keep this into consideration from the course designer. Then we press save, and now the questions for this quiz have been configured. Notice here that the first question we assigned it 10 points. You can change the number of points here for each other question. So let's say this will be 15 points, and the essay question will be 30, and a total so far it's 55. Now you can set the total grade to be 55 in total up here, and that will correlate with the distribution of each question, or you can leave it against 100 points, and then the system is still going to give more weight to the one that had more points to start with. Also, you can select to shuffle the questions, and each student will get a different order of the questions. This is very helpful, particularly if you're in a class where the students can potentially see each other's screens. Let's assume we have entered all the questions. You can go here to the quiz tab on the top, and you can select to preview the quiz. And it will look like this. Then the students take the quiz. I'm logged in as a student. The student will see that they have 2 attempts, a time of 30 minutes, and the highest grade. They'll start the attempt. Of course, they need to type more content in here as part of the essay question. Then they'll click Finish Attempt and Submit All and Finish. Again, this is the student view, and it gives the students a report. Now, you as the instructor, to go and grade or review the quiz, you go to the course page, you click on the quiz, and notice that one attempt has been made already in this quiz. Click on Attempts, scroll down, and you'll be able to see a report for the student. So in this case, we have the Karen student. Completed, took 1 minute to complete it, and the 2 questions, and then the essay question that has not been graded yet. Now notice it took 1 minute. If the quiz truly takes 30 minutes to complete and you have students that completed it in 1 minute, then there is potentially an issue and you need to keep an eye on this. Now the other question is, how do you grade these essay questions? You could grade each one of them manually from each student, but that gets to be very tedious.